Okay, welcome back. Let's get right into the market because we did have some interesting things play out. So from yesterday's update, we did have another swing high of this range. And really, we're just ranging between the 702 Fibonacci and the 0.66. And we're just continually ranging. We're going to trade this until it breaks. Now, a couple things I'm seeing. A bigger correction I do think is in order, but I am not satisfied with the swing failure highs yet. I would like to see something like this play out where we do just consolidate upwards with one more move swing high. Now we do have this very developed trend line forming where we have just placed another touch on it. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 touches now. And so we're just consolidating at a diagonal pattern. Zooming out to the 4 hour, I did give warning to watch for candles to start closing below the 20 because that can spell trouble, even though we did wick high. Now we're closing well below our 20. And really my theory, guys, with trend lines is whenever it does touch a trend line, it's usually has a major confluence with a higher time frame moving average, which in this case plays out perfectly because this golden line is our daily 50. Perfect touch there. And we did bounce. And we are holding this moving average at the moment. Zooming out to our daily time frame, you can see how far above our 20 we are. Now, I always give the stark warning also that this will be touched. I was beating that same drum on this big move up here. And sure enough, we do come back to touch it with our next move up. Then we touch our 50. So whether price holds up here and this comes up to meet it, or we just drop to touch it, one of those two factors will play out. So overall, Bitcoin is just forming this rising wedge between these two trends. And usually the way these can play out is we do get a swing high of these and they do fail and come back into pattern to have a bigger move down. Or of course, they can form a parabola and keep going up. We'll see how this reacts around this level if and when the time comes. Now we could be entering a medium-term distribution phase. Those can lead to some severe volatility. So what I've done is I've just pulled a fractal from this top. We'll drag that over, and a fractal from this top. We'll drag that over, and we'll zoom in. And you can see with this fractal, the volatility that could be displayed between Bitcoin. I mean, with this fractal, it's ranging between 38.5 upwards towards $60,000. And this is what I mean by distribution, and this is where our altcoins would start moving. The other fractal displays the same characteristics of severe volatility with a check back until we can actually make new yearly highs. Going to a clean chart, I just want to pull up total 3 and our altcoins just to show you how they are performing versus Bitcoin at the moment. Now, if we were somewhere like here in this cycle or somewhere like here, you can see how our total 3 altcoins are lagging well behind. And it's not until we reach this distribution phase that they start moving up to catch up. Here again, they actually launch past and start outperforming Bitcoin. And of course, when we had this double top, it's when we had altcoin season. Many coins reach their all-time highs, though, in this phase, never to see them again. We can see here, total 3 is very much far behind where it just did break major resistance, much like Bitcoin did here. And now it is starting to move up. So distribution pattern could look something like this, where Bitcoin does have its volatility and total 3 does indeed start moving up. And to help support that thesis, we have ETH versus Bitcoin still looking pretty good. Right now, we're just having some bullish crosses coming in here on the moving averages, and it's currently being held down by its 200. Conversely, we could just range here a little bit more before we move up. Now, ETH did reach my $3,000 target perfectly. So in the short term, if we were to have a pullback, I'd be looking for a bounce right around the 27.30 mark before we did indeed put up new highs, which my next target would be coming in roughly around 3,500. And you can see here the confluence of the 20 daily moving average meeting that. All right, so we're going to wrap this one up. I'd say your line in the sand is below this 0.66 Fibonacci. If you see a daily close below here, you know, coming in, but just below 50,850, then I'd be looking for a bigger corrective structure. Hope you enjoyed this update. See you tomorrow.